Welcome to Your Cyber Path, the podcast that helps you get your dream cybersecurity job by sharing the secrets of experienced hiring managers and top cybersecurity professionals with you. Now, on to the show.
The benefit of networking in college is something that you can't get from self-study at all.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, I can spin up a virtual network in AWS anytime I want. What are you talking about?
Social networking.
Oh, well, that's just Facebook. Come on, Sam. You're making it
I
sound
don't
like a
know.
big
It's
deal.
okay.
No, the in-person connection is just, you can't beat it, of course.
Okay.
I like to
I
say
get it.
in high school, if you're friends with your teacher, then you're a teacher's pet. But in college, if you're friends with your professor, then you become employed. So there's a lot of benefit to being in that environment. So if you can, of course, cost matters if you can go to college or not. But if you can, it's super helpful in that aspect.
Yeah.
I think that's a great point. And, just going into that point for a moment, we don't talk, I don't think we talked about it in the episode, but we did talk about it in our hired course, which is, coming out soon on Udemy. There's a new course that Kip and I are developing called Irresistible, how to make yourself irresistible to hiring managers. And one of the things we talk about later on in the course is this concept of, where can you find connections that are going to carry you through in life? And one of the things I tell people is, yes, college is one of those, and college is a great place for that. And most of the time, what you learn in college isn't the actual book material, because anyone can go on YouTube, Khan Academy, get a book from the library, get your Kindle out, and you can learn this information. You don't need to hear it from a professor standing at the front of the room telling you exactly what to do. And I've been that professor, so I get it. One of the ways that we are connected between Sam and I is I used to be a professor at Liberty. He goes to Liberty now. We didn't know each other at the time because I've left Liberty since then, and now he's there. But I left a couple of years before he got there. But the point in all that is that, there are multiple ways to do this, right? And, Sam had mentioned you may not be able to afford to go to college because college has gotten stupid expensive, right? I know you had a child who just recently finished college, and I'm sure that set you back, $50,000 or $100,000 for that university degree that she has. So I think that's an issue. And, my kids are about to go off to college, so I'm facing down the barrel of that gun as well. But there's another option, right? And it's the option I took, and Kip, I believe you took the same option, which is you can go to the military, right? If you go to the military, they're going to pay for your education, and you're also going to get a lot of that networking, that human in-person networking, because you never know who is going to be where later on, right? These people you meet in this 4-year time you're in college or 4 years in the military, they go off and do a lot of other things, the next 5, 10, 15 years. For example, one of the folks I used to work with in the military, he's actually the CISO over here in Orlando of the Adventist healthcare system. There's a huge hospital chain across, I think, 40 plus states that he's responsible for all of their cybersecurity, right? And he and I worked together doing essentially the same job 10 years ago. And I stayed in the military for a little longer, and he went off and retired and did this. And that's where he is now. And so when I was coming out of the military, it would have been really easy for me to call him up and go, "Hey, buddy, you remember me? I need a job. I assume you're hiring." And I would go right to the top of the pile because he knows me, likes me, trusts me, worked with me previously, right? So those things happen a lot. And I know we talk about that a lot in the Irresistible course too. And then the third area, if you don't want to go military because either not your thing or you're medically not able to, because there are people who are not medically able to, or you can't afford to go to college, the third thing you can do is a lot of these, what I call extracurricular activities. And it's things like Cyber Patriot. It's volunteering with high schools and colleges to be a part of their programs and being in and around that, because that will also get this, networking, and you'll meet. If Kip and I both decide to mentor one of the Cyber Patriot teams, we're going to meet each other that way, right? And now we can talk about something in common, Cyber Patriot and cyber defense and cyber attack. And then maybe that builds into a friendship or a job offer or something else.
Absolutely. When I left the military, every job I got after the military was not because I was a master of resume writing or because I was great at, applying for jobs online or whatever. It was all because I knew somebody who needed help and I could help them. And so they invited me to come on board. And I only submitted job applications and resumes after I had been offered the job. It's just sort of like, hey, let's clean up the paperwork trail and, make sure make this whole thing legit.
Make sure you're really hired on board. Yeah.
Right. Let's get those paychecks running. But, I really just, I look back and it's just so powerful because almost every job I had was just amazing. And I never really got exploited. I never really felt like I was being taken advantage of because I just had these relationships and people honored those relationships. And I've done the same thing. there was a college roommate I had, and he and I have been working together for years. Sometimes he's my boss, sometimes I'm his boss. We kind of go back and forth, but it's just fantastic. So, Sam, you're absolutely correct. You have to, for your own benefit, you really need to, make friends with people. And why not start early in your life when you're in college and just keep building. And by the way, these are loose connections. We're not saying you got to have, 50 BFFs here, right? We're just talking about loose connections, people who recognize you, who know you, like you, and trust you. They don't have to know your deep, dark secrets. And you don't have to, hold each other's hair while you throw up after you've had some beers, right? It doesn't have to be that deep.